Tony D, Little Jones asleep on the couch, and this is a screenwriter's rant on Thor, God of Thunder. Yeah, not Marvel's Thor, but some other movie company did another Thor movie, and the characters actually look slightly more like the gods. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's what? It's the Pineys, books 1 through 9, available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free, and there's an audio book for book 1. Thor, God of Thunder. Yeah, see, this is the thing. When you make Thor a joke, then there is an audience for more authentic Thor, I think. Now, Hiddleston, I thought, was fine with Loki, but they kind of ruined him with the TV series, I think. In this, Loki is way more murderous. He's the bad guy. He's trying to force Ragnarok. And so he ends up killing a bunch of people, stealing an amulet. He stabs Odin. I think he survives, though, because he's Odin, and you can't just kill Odin. But then eventually Thor is alerted. I mean, look, the effects are not as good as Marvel. I mean, these are like in the laptop kind of effects. They're not great with the wolf, but it looks like a monster. This is your Thor. I mean, he looks more Viking-like. He doesn't look anything like Chris Hemsworth because that's part of the deal. You can't have a confusion between your Thor and Chris Hemsworth's Thor, essentially Marvel's Thor. But Marvel's Thor has a particular look, and this is a completely different kind of look, right? So he's bald, and he's got a beard. I mean, Hemsworth, I think, had a beard sometimes, and I think he was clean-shaven other times. He's got a big rune on his head. He's got eye makeup. He's got crazy armor, so he looks nothing like regular Thor, except he has a hammer. And you'll note, he has the hammer. Thor fans, actual Thor fans. Yeah, this isn't comic book Thor, but I mean, I'd see this movie. Probably see this movie. Yeah, again, the effects aren't going to be that great. I mean, these are okay. But that's the big wolf, Fenrir, that Loki uses to destroy the world, essentially. I'm not sure who she's supposed to be. I think she's a modern era woman, but I'm not sure because she does drive in part of the trailer. So somebody who meets Thor and decides to help him. Yeah, see, she's driving in this scene. Thor's in the back seat there. But you got the streets flooded again. Another effect that it's cool. It's a cool effect. I like this effect. I mean, it looks good. Looks decent enough. Looks like the world is flooding. And they got a scene of him showing up to Earth, being summoned or landing in a big circle of runes, and he's shooting lightning bolts, which looks okay. Again, not here. Here he is. He's landing in this weird circle of stones. So that's cool, and he's doing the cool God of Thunder things. I mean, look, this is going to be a B movie version of Thor, but I'm okay with that because I'm not going to have to worry about this being woke. It's probably not woke. I mean, you could argue, like, well, there's a woman of color in the movie. So what? If she's a modern character, that makes total sense. It makes total sense. If you swap out one of the Marvel characters, like Valkyrie, and replace her with a woman of color, well, now you're just jerking us around. You could have come up with an explanation that would have been better to have somebody. I mean, Valkyrie is a very specific character in the Marvel universe, and she is as blonde and as pale as you'd imagine in Norse mythology. And she doesn't even act like Valkyrie from the comics, in my view. Anyhow, so will this be as funny as Thor? Well, it might be unintentionally funny because it is a more low-budget affair. But it looks perfectly functional. I mean, I wouldn't go to the theaters to see this. I don't even think it's going to make it into theaters. But I'd watch it. I'd watch, like, as a free thing on Prime or Netflix or something, which is probably where it'll end up, some kind of service like that. I'd watch this before I'd watch Thor: Love and Thunder and watch Natalie Portman take the hammer and do stuff. It no, no, thank you, no, thank you, Marvel. Is this going to be better? I don't know. Probably not. If I'm being honest, it's probably not going to be better. It's going to be a low budget version of Thor. First act, Loki escapes, typical of a Thor type movie. Loki escapes Asgard and his prison or whatever he's done. He steals a magic amulet he's going to use to start Ragnarok and find the tree. It's part of the tree. It's a whole part of the mythos. It follows the mythos pretty good. And he summons Fenrir, and he's back on Earth mucking about. Thor finds Odin, maybe heals him, says, "Oh, Allfather, what happened? Oh, you got to go to Earth and stop Loki." Second act, Thor gets to Earth, again, fish out of water, kind of like the first Thor movie, right? He's going to be kind of like, "Well, I'm Thor, and you humans, what is this strange metal contraption with wheels?" That kind of stuff. And then quickly he'll acclimate, and then they'll go after Loki, and they team up with a couple of randos he happens to run into. Maybe he saves them from something, and then they have to stop the Earth from being destroyed. The second act is taken up by the meeting, and then them trying to find Loki and stop him in time. And then the third act is a big fight between probably Loki and Thor and Fenrir. And then at the end, they stop the end of the world. Because, what are you going to do? Destroy the world at the end? Have them lose? That wouldn't be very good. And I could see, you could maybe spin off a TV series, a rival company. Like, Warner Brothers could pick this up, right? And they'll say, "Oh, we're going to have," if the CW wasn't just sold for no money, we'll have our own CW version of Thor. And that's what it kind of looks like. It looks a little bit like TV because it is lower budget. But I'm not knocking it. I'm not saying it's going to be bad. It might be very, very watchable. It might be good. Do I think it will be? It'll probably be okay. It'll probably be mildly entertaining. For those of you who know the North mythos, I know it. I know it a little better than the guys who I think work at Marvel Comics these days. And look, the Marvel Comics thing has gone on for a long time, so it's like, yeah, you kind of run into a wall after a while. I mean, when Jack Kirby did it, it was new, it was cool and bold, and now it's, it's just run its course, and they just keep running it, because it's superheroes. But Thor was always sort of a superhero. And so is Hercules in his own way. Hercules and Thor were kind of the same guys in the world of the gods. And you would tell these stories instead of reading comic books in ancient times. Right? So, it is what it is, I'll say. So, Thor, God of Thunder. Do we have a date on this movie? I don't think we do. No date on the movie. I would look for it on video on demand, probably on one of those platforms. And, if you're not going to see Thor 4, Love and Thunder, perhaps this would be a substitute. At the very least, you might get a mild chuckle. And that's it for me, Tony D. Little Jones asleep on the couch. And we're on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble tonight. I'm not sure what I'm doing for my extra video. We did a news blast. And then I'm going to do, I don't know. I might do another movie if I can find a trailer. So few trailers. Tomorrow's July 4th, so do something patriotic. And we'll see you tomorrow.